Welcome to Cognitive Catalyst, where we delve into the fascinating world of human behavior and psychology. Today, we're going to explore a topic that touches every one of us in our daily lives: the subtle and sometimes not so subtle signs that you can't trust someone. Trust, as we all know, is the bedrock of any relationship, be it personal or professional. But what happens when that trust is misplaced? The consequences can range from minor disappointments to major heartaches. So how can we safeguard ourselves from such situations? The answer lies in being aware and vigilant about certain behavioral cues that might indicate someone's untrustworthiness. From inconsistencies in their stories, to their inability to keep promises, to their tendency to lie to others, there are many such signs that we often overlook. Stay tuned as we explore these 10 crucial signs you need to watch out for. Our first sign to be wary of is inconsistencies. Consistency, whether in behavior or speech, is the backbone of trust. It provides a sense of stability and predictability, allowing us to navigate our relationships with confidence. When someone's actions align with their words, we feel secure in their authenticity. However, inconsistencies tell a different story. They can indicate deception or a lack of reliability. For instance, if someone tells you they're a morning person, yet you constantly see them snoozing their alarm, that's an inconsistency. If their stories about their past keep changing, that's another inconsistency. These discrepancies can give us pause and make us question the veracity of their words. Inconsistencies can be subtle or glaring, but they all chip away at the foundation of trust. So, pay attention to them. If someone's story is constantly changing, it's a red flag. The second sign is secretiveness. Now, it's important to differentiate between someone valuing their privacy and someone who is excessively secretive. Privacy is a fundamental right. It's about maintaining boundaries and respecting personal space. On the other hand, secretiveness is about deliberately concealing information, even when it's relevant or necessary. An individual who is consistently secretive may be hiding something more than just their personal matters. They might be avoiding accountability, dodging questions, or keeping you in the dark to maintain control. This can manifest in evasive answers, changing the subject, or even outright lies. Remember, trust is built on transparency and openness. If someone is always shrouded in mystery, they might not be as trustworthy as you think. It's about balance, respecting privacy, yet having the openness that fosters trust. While everyone has a right to privacy, excessive secrecy can be a sign of untrustworthiness. Sign number 3 is not keeping promises. Promises are like invisible threads that bind people together. They are the foundation of trust and reliability. When someone makes a promise, they're essentially pledging their word, their honor, and their integrity. It's a commitment that should not be taken lightly. Yet, when someone consistently breaks their promises, it indicates a lack of respect for the other party and a lack of concern for their feelings. It's like a warning bell, signaling that this person may not be as trustworthy as they seem. Repeatedly breaking promises can be a sign of unreliability, lack of accountability, and even dishonesty. It can undermine trust and create a sense of uncertainty and instability. So, if someone in your life frequently fails to keep their promises, it might be time to question their reliability and trustworthiness. Remember, actions speak louder than words. The fourth sign is avoiding eye contact. Now, let's delve into the psychology behind this. It's been widely observed that people often avoid eye contact when they're trying to conceal something or when they're not being truthful. This behavior can be traced back to our primal instincts. When a person feels threatened or wants to hide something, they instinctively avoid eye contact as a protective measure. Moreover, maintaining eye contact involves a certain level of mental effort. When someone is lying, their brain is working overtime to create and maintain the false narrative, leaving less cognitive resources for maintaining eye contact. It's also worth noting that avoiding eye contact can be a sign of social anxiety or discomfort as well. So it's important not to jump to conclusions based solely on this sign. However, if you notice a pattern of someone consistently avoiding eye contact, especially during serious conversations, it might be a red flag. Avoiding eye contact can sometimes indicate that something is amiss. Sign number 5 is having a bad history. In the realm of trust, our past can often be a revealing prologue to our future. Just like a book, each chapter of our lives tells a story, and sometimes these stories can give us invaluable insights into someone's character. When we say bad history, we don't mean a few mistakes or missteps. We all have those. We're talking about patterns of behavior. Has this person repeatedly broken trust in the past? Have they consistently shown themselves to be unreliable or dishonest? If so, this should give you pause. It's important to remember that people can change and grow. However, without clear evidence of this change, it's wise to consider their history when deciding whether to trust them. After all, if someone has repeatedly shown you who they are, it might be time to believe them. As the saying goes, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. The sixth sign is negative body language. It's a fascinating and often overlooked part of human interaction. Body language provides a window into a person's true feelings and intentions, often revealing more than words alone. If someone's words are saying one thing but their body language is signaling something else, it may be a sign that they are not being entirely truthful. Consider crossed arms or legs, for instance. These are classic defensive postures, suggesting the person may be uncomfortable or hiding something. Fidgeting, too, can be a sign of nervousness and unease. Similarly, someone who frequently touches their face or neck during a conversation could be unconsciously attempting to comfort themselves, a common reaction when people aren't being honest. Lastly, a lack of open body language, such as turning away or creating physical barriers between themselves and others, can indicate a level of deception or discomfort. Pay close attention to body language, it often speaks volumes. Sign number 7 is a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's a fundamental component of human connection, and it's crucial for building trust. When someone can't or doesn't want to put themselves in your shoes, it's a sign that they may not be considering your feelings or needs. Imagine a friend who never asks how you're doing or doesn't seem to care when you're upset. This lack of empathy can feel isolating and lead to a breakdown of trust. It can indicate a disregard for your feelings and possibly a self-centered perspective. Empathy isn't just about understanding others' feelings, it's about showing that understanding through actions and words. It's about validating others' experiences and emotions. A person who lacks empathy may not be malicious, but their inability to connect on an emotional level can make it hard to fully trust them. Without empathy, true trust is difficult to establish. The 8th sign is not taking responsibility. It's a fundamental aspect of human nature to make mistakes. What differentiates the trustworthy from the untrustworthy is how they handle these missteps. Trustworthy individuals embrace their mistakes as opportunities for growth, openly admitting their faults and making amends where necessary. On the other hand, those who consistently shirk responsibility, deflect blame onto others, or play the perpetual victim reveal a concerning lack of integrity. This behavior is a red flag, indicating they may not be willing to own up to their actions when it truly matters. Remember, it's not the mistakes we make that define us, but how we respond to them. A person who can't take responsibility is like a ship without a rudder, aimlessly drifting and creating chaos in their wake. If someone is always playing the victim or blaming others, it's a sign you may not be able to trust them. The 9th sign is if they lie to others. Now, this may seem like an obvious red flag, but sometimes we tend to overlook it, especially when the person in question is charming or manipulative. But let's be clear here. If someone is comfortable lying to other people, they could just as easily lie to you. It's a sign of a lack of integrity. This doesn't mean that they will necessarily lie to you, but it does raise the question of trust. Trust is about believing in someone's honesty and reliability. If they've shown that they're willing to distort the truth for their own benefit, then it's not unreasonable to question whether they would do the same to you. So, pay attention. Notice whether they're being honest with others. Are they twisting the truth or creating their own version of reality? If they are, then you might want to reconsider your level of trust in them. Remember, honesty is the cornerstone of trust. The final sign is if they make you feel uncomfortable. It's essential to understand the role our gut feelings play in gauging trustworthiness. Our instincts are the culmination of our experiences, knowledge, and innate survival mechanisms. They're like an internal alarm system, alerting us when something doesn't sit right. Discomfort can take many forms. It can be a nagging feeling that something's off, or a sense of unease in their presence. You might feel anxious, tensed, or find yourself constantly on guard. This unease often stems from inconsistencies in their behavior, words, or actions that our subconscious picks up on, even if we can't quite put a finger on it. The key is to not dismiss these feelings. They're our body's way of communicating that we're not in a safe or trustworthy situation. It's okay to question, it's okay to step back. Trust your instincts. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable, there's probably a reason. To wrap up, these are the 10 signs you can't trust someone. The inconsistencies in their stories, their penchant for secrecy, and their habit of breaking promises. The avoidance of eye contact, a troubling past, and the display of negative body language. A lack of empathy, an unwillingness to take responsibility, and a tendency to lie to others. Finally, their ability to make you feel uncomfortable. These signs are not definitive proof of untrustworthiness, but they should alert you to possible issues. By recognizing these signs, you arm yourself with the knowledge to protect your emotional well-being and build stronger, more trustworthy relationships. Cultivating trust is an integral part of any relationship. It's a fragile and precious thing that, once lost, can be extremely difficult to regain. Thank you for joining Cognitive Catalyst today. Remember, trust is precious. Guard it wisely.